Guess what we're doing today? Shadowrun Dragonfall, the director's cut. Let's get back to work. So we got paid for the Aztec run. And now we've got a few side missions to do. We have Iger's side quest, and we have Blitz's side quest, or loyalty missions, if you prefer to look at it in that way. That means we'll actually have to go on a mission with Blitz. Good thing we've been upgrading him as time has gone on, but just kinda yikes. Alright, now that we've been paid and done everything else, please tell me that we have new items. I'm a little tired of the clothing that we're wearing right now, to be honest. No! We do not. Okay, well, whatever. Let's take a look at our stats here for our karma. Our intelligence is up to an 8. That's modified, of course. We're getting +1 from the clothing that we're wearing. Our intelligence is actually a 7. Decking is a 5. Biotech is up to a 4, and we need to start squeezing that up. I'm trying to remember when we're going to start using the biotech. I think that it's going to be when we go back to the Harfeld Manor. So we have at least 2 missions before we get there. 3, actually. We have the mission to recover the Mark 6. We have Blitz's debt. We have Iger's debt. Or Iger's mission. We will by then hopefully be able to do Glories. So we'll get there. We still have quite a few missions to go on. Hopefully we will get some more karma. We're actually doing great in terms of funding. And I have not even... I wish I had had the Cyber Eye. I would have bought it if I had known that we needed it. So I can't really think of anything else that we might want. Okay, well, whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. We're past that point. So I think we're actually going to just go do blitzes at this point in time. Yeah. Because we had to go the other way for Iger's. So, to the Landenberg Rings Bank in Dragonkeep to clear Blitz's debt. Let's see if I can remember what place I gave Blitz this time. I know it's been all over the place. Alright. Dragonkeep. It'd be high up on anyone's list of places to avoid, but that's where you're headed. And you're going there alone this time. The last time you saw Blitz, he was carting his portable terminal over to Cafe Kesve, presumably so that he could do his decking from the most comfortable environment possible. Like everything else related to Dragonkeep, the U-Bahn train that services it is in poor repair. The car that you're riding in stinks like a chemical toilet on a hot day. On the floor near the doorway, you catch sight of a trampled lump of tattered fur, and the longer you stare at it, the more convinced you become that you're looking at the remains of a long-dead squirrel. The train rumbles to a stop, and the doors slide open. Time to get this over with. So, we're going in without any guns. Just us and 2 drones. I think we'll probably be activating the steel links a lot, and then keeping 1 point to be able to do stuff. You have unspent karma. Do not care. Stepping out of the U-Bahn tunnel, you once again find yourself in the squalid alleys of Dragonkeeper. And this place is a pit. Piles of waste, human and otherwise, litter the streets. The gutted husks of commercial buildings stand hollow and empty all around you. Your comlink crackles to life, and you can hear the distant sounds of Cafe Kesve, merriment, laughter, and the clink of silverware and china. Blitz's voice cuts in a second later. Hey, Chief, you ready to do this thing? Yeah, hey. You all comfy and cozy there? Of course I am. I've had this run planned out for years, like I said. You hear a slurping sound, presumably Blitz taking a sip of steaming hot soy calf. The only steam that you can see out here is your own breath condensing in the frigid night air. You think he sips like that? Let's just get this over with. Oh, come on, Chief. Where's your sense of adventure? I mean, you get to rob a bank. How whiz is that? Another distant roar of laughter crackles over the comlink. Presumably, the patrons of Cafe Kesve are having a lovely evening. You owe me for this, man. Yeah, Chief. Yeah, I do. Which is really what got him into this whole mess in the first place, so, you know, I feel like that's just him, right? So, alright. Zoom in a little bit. There's an alley door here. Nothing else for us to look at yet. There is someone to talk to. Perhaps this person will be letting us in. A plain-looking man in a fancy suit taps away at his PDA. He's an older guy, probably in his late 50s. And in the filth-strewn streets of Dragonkeep, he stands out like a sore thumb. Bald, right? Who the hell are you? My name is Hassenkap. I'm Mr. Grinder's accountant. What a remarkable coincidence. Hassenkap nods, his expression is deadpan. Mr. Grinder sent me to ensure that the money transfer goes according to plan. When you enter the building, I'm going in with you. Yeah. Well, and how did Meat Grinder even know that I would be here? Your pal, Blitz. He sent Mr. Grinder a message with a complete breakdown of your plan about an hour ago. He did, huh? Everything? Well, of course I did, Chief. How else could I be sure that this would get me off the hook if I didn't ask? And so, to find out, you let a homicidal loan shark know exactly when and where to find me. Well, that's not exactly how I'd put it, but yeah, I guess. In my own defense, I didn't expect him to send his accountant to shadow you, though. That's a new one on me. Yeah. I'm fairly suspicious of this fellow already. I hate to interrupt, but if you two are finished, I'd like to get this show on the road. I want to get back before my grandkids go to bed. Couldn't agree more. It's your turn, Blitz. Let's open the door up. You got it, Chief. Heading inside? This won't take 5 seconds. Probably not, given how quick things tend to go. Okay, so we are... Blitz. I guess we got to go talk to this gatekeeper Ice over here. A gatekeeper Ice program stands impassively, waiting to challenge all comers. Visitor, identity unknown. Please present security code string. Let's see here. Override security access root command trapdoor. Access granted. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anybody else think it's not going to be that easy to get out of here? We've got auto turrets. Auto turret 3, auto turret 2. Alright. More ice to talk to. Auto turret 4, auto turret 1. A piece of watcher ice turns, flashing angrily. A rapid-fire sequence of lights pulse out a warning. Keep away. Check my credentials with your friend back there. Go on. I can wait. A moment later, the watcher ice flickers apologetically. Secondary security verification. Approved. Super user status. Verified. Query. How may I help you today? Just step aside, pal. I'm in a rush. Proceed, and have a pleasant day. Don't mind if I do. Well, he's got a touch that I don't seem to have with him. I've never had one of the computer systems I've broken into during a Shadowrun thank me and wish that I would have a nice day. Ooh, it's kind of purple. Alright, there we go. The alley door. Actually, what's this? Main system hardware firewall. I bet we'll be taking that one down. And that should do it, Chief. You're good to head on inside. The main server should be just ahead. A shocking display of competence from the Redhead disaster. That's what Mr. Grinder calls up, pal, by the way. He's got a rep around these parts. For some strange reason, all of his friends keep dying. Don't listen to this asshole, Chief. He shouldn't even be here. He wouldn't be here if you hadn't spilled the beans to meet Grinder. Unfortunately for all of us, me especially, I am here. So, let's just get this finished, and then we can all go back to disliking each other on our own time. Fine by me. Anything else that we need to know, Blitz? Yeah, I hit the first firewall in here. I'll need you to get in there and install that bypass for me. Got it. We'll go find a terminal. In we go. Alright. Well, I mean, there's really only 2 doors. Let's just go through the closest one. Desk drawers. This place is a dump, he says. Well, I don't disagree. Cred sticks. Hundreds of them. I'm gonna bet they're blank. You sink your head into the drawer and you sink your head into the drawer of loose cred sticks and fish out a handful. The plastic is slick and pleasant to the touch. As you withdraw your hand from the desk, Hassenkamp chuckles. They're all blank. You don't think that the Landenberg ring would leave them in an unlocked drawer if they had money on them, do you? Yeah, you're probably right, but it wouldn't hurt to check. And, of course, it's blank. Told you so. Now, can we keep moving, or do you want to test every stick in that drawer? Well, it wouldn't hurt. That was a rhetorical question, genius. Come on, Bart. Let's keep moving. Fine. What's going on in here? Medical supplies, a desk, trash can. Of course we're going to dig through the trash. Alright, the desk is catastrophically messy. Candy wrappers litter its work surface, and the bottom drawer is ajar. Go ahead and search it. You about through over there? Hang on a second, I want to check this out. I'm not sure that we're on the same page here. So, we should probably hash this out now, and save ourselves some time. We are here to fetch the money that your friend owes Mr. Grinder. That means that we aren't here to ransack desks or steal office supplies. So what you're doing right now could be accurately described as a waste of time. Your boss will get what's coming to him. Now back down. Alright, fine, such away. But Mr. Grinder is waiting for my call, and believe me, it isn't wise to keep that man waiting long. I'll keep doing this and take my chances. You rummage through the desk and you find an old-fashioned binder stuffed with cheap paper. Leaping through the pages, you discover what appears to be a business plan. Apparently, the Landenberg ring is in the process of opening a string of payday loan centers around Drogenkeep. Hey, Hasenkemp, what does Grinder think about this? Isn't money lending his racket?
Yeah. Those Landenberg pricks have been a tick on his ass for years now, sucking away at the revenue that should be lining his pockets. Bad business all around. Thankfully, we're going to recover at least a little of that cash tonight. And speaking of which...
Yeah, just a second, I'm almost done. Find a note script on the piece of paper at the back. Plots. I have a real and pressing concerns about this silent partner that you've brought on for the loan center scheme. We don't need him. I keep saying it, but nobody listens. Call me. Any idea who this Plots guy is, Hasenkemp?
Miserable son of a bitch. I had to share an office with that man for... Never mind. You don't need to know.
The plot thickens. Yeah, it does. Go get the medical supplies. Hasenkemp's in my way. There we go. The garbage can hasn't been emptied in a while. When you lift the lid, you find the bin full to overflowing with crumpled paper and disused office stationery. Dig through the trash.
Oh, for Christ's sake, here we go again.
Calm down, man. It's part of the job.
This is ridiculous. You're on a run with a deadline, and you're rooting around in the trash can.
It happens more often than you'd expect. The longer we argue about this, the longer it's gonna take.
Alright, fine. Do your thing, but make it quick.
Most of the waste in here comes in the form of old bank statements. Apparently, somebody in the Landenberg ring has been using the backs of statements as scratch paper. The third handful of trash that you liberate from the bin, however, contains a note that catches your eyes. Hey, where did you score that stuff, man? That juice that you were passing around. That stuff was unreal. I'm serious, man. I haven't been that high since grad school. When you get your hands on more, let me know. John. Alright. Good. I don't care what he makes of this. Alright, we'll just go ahead and take that med kit. Just send it straight to our stash. Okay, and we had a door back here that we can go through too. So let's go do it. We'll find out if it's broken. I don't know that any of these are better than any of the others. I guess it doesn't really matter. It looks like it would have led to... Oh, no, there actually is a different area there. The teller area door. There's some equipment here. There's a locked door down here. Another door over there that we can go through. I guess we'll go check this one out. Alright, door console. The door is locked. There's a small keypad, a keycard reader, and a comm panel set into a wall just beside it. Okay, so we could enter a key code or use the comm panel. I'm not too convinced about using the comm panel. I bet that's where everybody's locked in. The only thing I could think of that we might be able to do is say something about, hey, we got your juice or something. So let's try going through here. So we've got a pretty damaged floor here, and a terminal. This terminal has been left on, and the screen is still active. It's logged in under the username Albert Trips. The keyboard input has been locked out, and the keyboard entry box hangs at the center of the screen. Go ahead and just bypass the password here. Password 123456 accepted. Nice. We're dealing with a real winner here. Alright, go ahead and search the computer. The cursory inspection shows you that this computer has primarily been used to access a host of illicit matrix sites. While there is a full suite of office productivity software installed on the machine, it hasn't been opened in months. Wow, the Landenberg ring really needs to start keeping a closer eye on its employees.
I'm not surprised. It's only a matter of time before Plots runs this place into the ground.
Yeah, so tell me more about this guy.
Jürgen Plots. He's the leader of the Landenberg ring. I had to share an office with that miserable son of a bitch for 5 years before we went our separate ways. He's the greediest, most narcissistic piece of work that I've ever met, and I work for a loan shark.
So, he's not your biggest fan either, I bet.
No, he's not. Anyway, in the end, it doesn't matter. Mr. Grinder will get paid, and Flux is going to write a check.
Right. Fine. He likes the smuts. Alright, let's inspect this desk here. The desk is an oasis of order amidst the chaos of the rest of the building. Papers and chips are stacked neatly or filed by name and date. There's even an old-fashioned coffee mug filled with a random assortment of graphite pencils and ink pens.
Huh. This desk is actually organized. Must belong to somebody in management.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
Time's wasting, let's keep moving.
Hold on. Tell you what, I'll let you know when we're ready to move on, and until then, you stop badgering me about it. Deal?
Whatever, just hurry your ass up.
Alright, check the paper. You appear to have discovered a compilation of financial reports. Each report details the fiscal health of a small corporation. Taken as a whole, they paint a picture of small business across the whole of Germany. Each corp in the pile seems to have an interesting, innovative project underway. Unfortunately, all are also in dire financial straits. At least half of them are teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. Despite the corporation's impending insolvency, the file suggests buying heavily into all of them. Apparently, the Landenberg's Ring sources have them to believe that all of these corporations are on the verge of being acquired by one single megacorp. The file does not say which one.
A financial crime ring is involved in insider trading? Shocking. Now, can we please move on?
Most of the drawers are stocked with stationary supplies. Nothing turns up. One is locked, and we seem to lack the strength or crowbars to force it open. So, all done.
You sure? Maybe there's some nice binder clips in there for you to play with, or a staple remover for you to steal.
Let's go. Alright, so we've also got this door. So let's go try it out. I'm expecting to run into people here at some point in time. But maybe not. Maybe we won't until we try and get through some sort of area. One of these locked zones. Oh, perfect. We'll be able to send our drone through there. Ah, creme. It's not great, but whatever. We'll just go ahead and send that to our stash. We can sell it for some creds later. All we have to do is send a drone through. Looks like it sent our best drone through. Going in there automatically unlocked the door. So let's see what we find over here. You find a sheaf of banking information. The data in the paperwork points to Meat Grinder and contains a long list of financial transactions and known associates. The whole thing is enclosed in a manila file folder labeled Plots. For once, Hassenkamp doesn't complain about the detour. When he sees the information in front of you, he stops dead in his tracks. Well, we'd better keep moving, huh, Hassenkamp? Like you said, the grinder is waiting.
Yeah. Hang on a second, this is important.
Yeah, just wanted to hear you say it. Now, why would Plots have Grinder's financial records?
To steal from him, most likely. But these records, they don't make any sense.
Care to explain that for the rest of us?
I know Mr. Grinder's books. I tend to them for him. And I'm telling you, what you're seeing here does not add up.
Alright, in what way?
I'm seeing projections for future profits here that run way outside of the scope of what our organization brings in annually. I don't know how Plots got his hands on this information, but it couldn't be any more wrong.
Maybe there's something going on that you don't know about. Could Grinder be working a deal under your nose? Maybe something he wants to keep you insulated from, maybe. Maybe.
No way. That would be financial suicide. Mr. Grinder is good at intimidating people and breaking kneecaps. When it comes to keeping the business running, I'm the man he turns to. I have been for a dozen years.
Maybe you should ask him about it when we're done with this run.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Alright, what's going on with this desk here? Item. We got an item for a keycard. Alright, so that was the thing, right? We needed a drone to do this. We need to get into this room. We cannot get in there because it's locked. We'll come all the way around here. We'll use this keycard on the machine. And then I bet we're going to get started with the fights. Just a little guess. Go ahead and just swipe the keycard right through the reader. The door unlocks with a solid thunk. Alright, here we go.
Who the hell are you?
It's a good question. Interestingly, this guy is combat capable. He's got a Ruger Super Warhawk. And 2 AP. Alright, well run in here, buddy. And I guess even the lawyers and moneymen need to be able to keep themselves safe, huh? Alright, let's go ahead and drop the steel links into control mode. And down. Well, he was murdered rather quickly. Alright, onto the server here. The interface of this console has been locked. Peering around behind the terminal, you find an absolute rat's nest of tangled cables running between it and the servers. So just go ahead and install it. Got it, Blitz. You should be good to patch in. Yep. It's all looking good on my end. Nicely done, Chief. Thanks. Now, get us into that vault. I'm on it. Okay. So there's the teller area door. It does not look like I can access it. We can try? Yeah, he doesn't seem to be able to access it. Oh. This is interesting. It says take bit. An activation bit. Time to go find a socket to plug it into. Of course, we actually can't here. We're gonna have to get another one that will keep the door open. Let's see if we can grab this one. No. How about this one? Let's go hack this node. I wonder what we'll get for it. Hey, Chief, I found something here you might want to have a look at. What is it? It looks like sort of a persona non grata list for the Landenberg ring. Everyone on here is listed as shoot on sight. There's a lot of names here, a lot of personal information too, known associates, credit history, hollow picks, that kind of thing. So what's interesting about it? Well, there are 3 names on the list that I recognize. One of them's mine, naturally. The Landenbergs and the Strauss never did get along, and another one is Hassenkamp's. Not surprised, these bastards would just love my head on a plate. And Chief, the other one's yours. They've got a whole dossier on you. No idea where they got it from or why, but they have it. That's not good.
Welcome to the club. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I don't.
The dossier looks like a new file. It was just uploaded about 20 minutes ago. Hang on a second, there's an attachment. I'll send it to you. Blitz's voice falls silent. A few moments later, a brief message appears on the screen of your PDA. Plots. Here's the intel on those unwanted guests I warned you about. They're coming tonight. Take appropriate precautions. It's another message for Plots.
I'm not surprised. He tried to micromanage everything when we were together. Everything had to be exactly how he wanted it all the time. I can't imagine that's changed now.
Well, that was very enlightening. Want me to delete the files, Chief? Please. Done and done. No need to worry about that anymore. Very reassuring. Thanks, Blitz. Alright, so we hacked the data node. Fantastic. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that in there so that this stays down so we can steal that bit. We'll steal this bit. That's 2 bits. 2 bits, 2 bits, 2 bits. Don't know how many we're gonna need. Looks like we need like 3 of them in order to open that. What a mess. Alright. If we place this bit, and then we take this bit. Hopefully this one, yeah, that one held it open. Cool. Alright, let's put all of them here, and maybe we can open up the area to the teller door. There was some equipment I wanted to look at. Yep. Thank you, Blitz. Hey, Chief, I just cracked open a security door somewhere in your area. Might be worth checking out.
Will you please tell him to concentrate on the job? We're here to settle his debt, not to hunt for souvenirs.
You're a big boy. You tell him.
Blitz, you need to...
Yeah, I heard you the first time. Hey, thanks for doing that, Blitz. No problem. It's great to feel appreciated. Poor Blitz. He's not a bad character. He's actually a pretty good character. But he's kind of an idiot. And that doesn't make me feel good. Alright, should be enough control bits. We'll go ahead and drop one in back here just because I don't know where we're going to start. But it looks like we only need 2 to get to this data that we want to open. Which I think is for that vault door. Alright, you're clear into the secured area. Keep your eyes open, Chief. There's a tiny chance that you might bump into some physical security from here on out. Other than the crazy guy in the server room, you mean? Yeah, I mean other than him.
You said that there wouldn't be any security in this building. Easy in, easy out, no security. That's what you said when I told that's what you told Mr. Grinder. Those were your exact words.
Yeah, well, the situation's changed a bit. Look, I'm not saying that you will hit security, I'm just saying that you might. So keep your eyes open and, lower the next firewall, okay? Alright. I feel like everybody's kind of taking advantage of Mr. Grinder here. An Armtech MGL-6. That's a grenade launcher. But it did not even give us a chance to do it. It looks like it sent it straight to our stash. Okay. Well, good thing we've got 2 drones then. If they're giving us a grenade launcher, and then we can't use it. But I don't trust lawyers or accountants in the first place. It's their job to manipulate systems and do so to their advantage. But I feel like this guy is using me as muscle to hack into the bank. And he's literally just along for the ride. Yeah. So the safety deposit room for the first vault. Empty. Next room. What do we have here? Uh-oh. There's a guy in there. There's somebody in there. There's an open door to go through, but These two side doors don't work. Oh, this seems terrible, doesn't it? I do like how this is a little vault of its own right in the center of the room. Alright, let's keep going to the only obvious exit out of the room, even though we see people nearby doing things. I also see... This looks like a drone vent, although I can't put my drone into it. The vault door. And there's a firewall terminal, okay? And another door there that we can't do anything with. Alright, let's disengage the second firewall. The button depresses with a meaty thunk. I'm guessing we just powered it down. That's done it, Chief. The final firewall just went down. I should be able to clear access to the secure node. Get to it then. Done and done. This'll be easy as pie. Just you wait and see.
That's all fine and good, but be quick about it. There were some guards in the other room, and I don't want to be here if they decide to come exploring.
Yeah, I'm on it. You two cool your jets, and I'll let you know as soon as the vault door is open. Well, alright. Disable the second firewall. Let's go ahead and take these bits. I don't know if we'll need them. But... you know, nobody needs them here. I kind of like that as a puzzle. It would have been neat if more of that had been kept in the live-action dodging one. It would have given people a reason to zip back and forth. Alright. Let's pull back here. Hack the vault door, and it looks like there's two side doors. Let's go check them out. Never know if there's something useful in here. Door control south. Okay. Interestingly enough, it will not let us interact with it yet. But good to know that that is where that one is. I bet anything that this is door control north. So I'm assuming we're going to get overrun, and we're going to have to close north or south doors, or even maybe both, to keep waves of bad guys from overrunning us. At least coming as a rigger, kind of, with two drones, kind of bought us an extra person on the team. Alright, unlock the vault door. I'm sure it won't set off any alarms. There's another telltale crackle of static from your comlink. Blitz's voice fills your ear. His tone is impossibly smug. Alright, Chief, that should do it. The vault is open. I'm suppressing the alarm. So, easy as pie, just like I said.
Yes, we're all very impressed. Now, let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Alright, well, let's do it. I'm sure everything won't go to shit the second that we open the door. Well, at least it didn't happen the second we opened the door. It happened the second we went through the door.
I'll handle the transfer from here, thank you.
I don't think so, Chuckles. I don't trust you.
Well, unfortunately for you, Mr. Grinder does trust me. That's why I'm here. Now, if you want Blitz off this hit list, you'll step aside.
Fine, go ahead, but I'm warning you.
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Hassenkamp's fingers dance over the terminal's keypad, and a progress bar winks on the screen and rapidly climbs towards 100%.
Very good. Only one more thing that needs doing, and then we can get out of here.
What one more thing? The deal was that we'd get Grinder's money transfer. We've done that. Well, wait a second. You said that we were here to do the money transfer and nothing else. You can't go back on it now, or alright, fine, be quick about it. I would like for him to turn around and look at me pointing a gun at him. Hey, Venomy.
That took care of Blitz's debt to Mr. Grinder. Consider this the interest.
Whoa, hey, hold up. I don't owe any interest. Grinder didn't say anything about interest. If you're grabbing things out of the safe deposit box, we want a cut.
Just wait here for a moment. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hassenkamp walks up to a nearby safe and taps the code into the keypad. The door swings open. He reaches inside and pulls out a small plastic box and then taps the activator on his comlink.
Yes, Mr. Grinders, the package is secure. That's right, I'm holding it right now. I'll have it in your hands in the next 15 minutes.
This is bullshit, Chief. By all rights, that box should be ours. This is our run.
Huh.
Do you even know what it is?
Well, no, but I want it.
What do you think Grinder would do if we just took the box?
Well,
he'd take my thumbs off, wouldn't he? I think that's the safe bet.
Damn it.
Blitz falls into a disgruntled silence. You can hear the soft murmur of Hassenkamp speaking into his comlink from across the room. Finally, he taps the power button and deactivates the device.
All right, the deal is done. Let's get out of here.
I'm sure everything will be fine when we open this door. Upon approaching the vault door, two things become immediately apparent. One, when you stepped into the vault, the door sealed and latched shut behind you, and two, there's no obvious way to open it from where you're standing. Hey, Blitz, open the door.
Huh?
What do you mean, Chief?
The vault door, idiot. There's no way to open it from in here. You did account for that, didn't you?
There is a long pause.
Oops.
I think that I might have missed that detail when we planned this run through. This isn't a small detail, Blitz. If you don't get that door open, we're gonna die in here. Easy there, Chief. Just cool your jets and let me work on this. I'll figure something out. Don't worry.
I knew that something like this was going to happen. When Mr. Grinder told me who I'd be checking up on, I just knew it.
Calm down, man. He's gonna get us out of here. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Chief. I'll get you out of there. Just give me 2 more seconds.
1, 2.
There's a long pause, and finally Blitz speaks again. His voice is strained. Alright, Chief. I think that I can see how to get you out of there. You give me the go-ahead, and I'm going to try something, but there is a catch. Alright. Well, right now I'm keeping about 4 different alarms from triggering. No big deal. I can handle it. But I won't lie. Opening that door is going to be tough. It'll take concentration, and I don't think I can keep all 4 alarms locked down while I'm doing it.
So you're telling us that in order to open the door, you're going to have to set off the alarm. Do I have that right?
Well, technically, you set off the alarm when you stepped into the vault. All I'm doing is keeping the signals locked down so that they can't get out. I might be able to release the lock fast enough to catch the alarms before they sound, but I can't guarantee it.
How reassuring.
Don't worry, Blitz. I got this. The door slides open with a hiss. No alarm. Well, yeah, that works too.
Why didn't you just do that in the first place?
Okay, so let's just walk out of here peacefully. Everything will be fine. We didn't set off any alarms, so they don't know that we're here, right? You hear a loud thunking sound, a heavy-duty maglock clicking shut. The little red light above the exit door goes from green to red. Blitz, I'm detecting a pattern here. Yeah, Chief, I'm getting right on it.
What a goddamn train wreck.
There's another long pause, and the tension mounts, and then your comlink crackles to life again. Okay, Chief, I figured out how to get you out of there. You're gonna have to release a couple of locks, and then you could find the controls in the rooms to the north and south of your current position. But in order to get to those locks, I'm gonna have to hold the doors open for you. Hell with that, I'll just force the doors on my end. Hey, you want to do it that way, don't let me stop you. We could probably even do it together. You tackle one door, and I'll take the other.
What about me?
When I've opened my door, I'll need you to run in and release the lock and then get back out. So once we've released both locks, you need to get out of there as quickly as possible, and I'll lock the place down behind you.
I can do that.
So you'll take one door, I'll take the other, and Hassenkamp will run interference. Got it. That's right. Once we've released both locks, you need to get out of there as quickly as possible, and I will lock the place down behind you. Oh, and, Chief, you're about to have some company in there.
Wonderful.
Alright, so that door is open now. That door is open now. That is a shit ton of ice. Part of me just wonders, can I ignore the ice? Can I take all those hits? They may not be able to hit me. We don't have a lot of time. Just run for it, let's. Oh my Christ. Just get through the doorway. If he only has to do one, and we can do the other, that's fine. He's only got to fight these two. Alright, so what has he got going on here? He's got suppression to reduce the alarm state, erosion to do damage over time, medic to heal himself, and blaster for an AoE. So, hit him with the AoE. Hit this one with damage over time. Crap. And then try hitting that one again. Okay. Alright. Where is the matrix access point? There's a door panel there. Oh, we should have sent him south. Look at this. It only unlocked one of the door panels. That sucks. I really figured that there would be a door panel down here, but there is not. Alright, just run up here and slap the door panel. Override the door lock. Cool. He can actually go a lot of places, it looks like. But we only want somewhere where he's only going to go for one, so this is a good place for one. Nice. Wow! That sucked. We just got rocked. Alright. Well, we'll get back up and we'll take care of it. Blitz needs to get out of there and head to the southern door post-haste. It would have worked a lot better if he'd already been at the southern door, I think. Okay, he's probably going to have to heal himself for one. Okay, cool. Now we cannot just actually use it, so hit him with erosion. And that'll do 25 per round. So let's just hit him with another one. Yeah, he'll die next round. There we go. Okay, we auto-healed from that. So for 2, we'll be able to go use the control panel. He got the grenade launcher. No, we have it. Somehow we ghostly picked up an extra launcher. Or an extra slot. That's really kind of interesting. Medical supplies are cool. Okay, he's down, so I don't have to worry too much about him. Door control terminal, do it. Alright, northern lockdown, done. Blitz is doing his maneuvering here. Unfortunately, I can't get either one of those, but this hits harder than our normal hit, so toss it. Nice. Oh, don't keep missing. There we go. Unlock the node. And access the door controls. Say when and I'll force it for you. We're ready. Force it. Alright. I guess we still actually have to get over there, but I think that's okay. Alright, we're actually going to take a little time out here to use a med kit on ourselves, because we used our res kit already. What has this guy got going on here? Look at this dude with all of his grenades. And a drone repair kit of all things. Nice. Alright, go grab that. Advanced medkit, perfect. Now we could just run here, but let's see if we can take him down first. Okay, cool. He auto-reloaded. Down. Alright, move. Before they start opening up these other doors. I seem to recall something about turrets. Okay, shit. It's not exactly putting me under cover, is it? Alright, what's going on with the lawyer? You got a grenade, right? Do it. That is a great start. Hard to tell where there's cover, though. That'll work. Oh, of course it's a shaman. Damn, we got hit with some sort of fireball. Haha, your magic arrow missed. Take that, Melf. Okay, released. Get out of there. As soon as we get to the next room, he'll lock the door behind. So, we need to look at vacating here. In sort of a timely way. Alright, full cover there. I don't think we want to do that. No cover there. Let's just try and take the smartest route that we can while keeping ourselves in cover, I think. Yeah, I think that'll do. He'll come in here, but I don't think he can shoot us. Ugh. The fire crotch is onto us. Alright, more medical supplies. I don't really think I care about that at the moment. I don't know that I really want to fire a grenade at him. I think we would be better off healing ourselves and activating one of the drones. So let's activate the steel links. And let's let it do its shooting first, I guess. Missed. Nearly took it down. Murdered. Perfect. Go ahead and grab the medical supply, I guess, then. Advanced medkit. Cool. %51 cover. She has no cover from his shot right now. Nice. Wow! 30 damage, 10 hit points per round of damage. And we have no res for him, so he's absolutely got to stay up. He's going to use both medkits. We're still on fire too, so Medkit. Alright, get ready to shoot the shit out of this woman here. That really would have taken care of our... God damn, a second crit? Oh, and it broke free. Time to switch this thing out of control mode. And get ready to run. We need to get out of this room. I don't think we're going to be able to take this thing. We don't have the health really necessary to do it. How many more rounds are we going to keep taking? 10? One more round? How many hit points does he actually have? If he dies, we lose. 30 out of 92. Yeah, he's okay. We'll do a health kit on him. And then go open the door. Oh shit, and they brought a drone. Oh no. I think he may have just destroyed it or just destroyed our drone. Get into there. And then we'll see how fast we can go. Can we get into the next room? God, we're so close. Yep, one of the drones got damaged to the point of being destroyed. I think it will be fine later. But right now it's not. Alright, we're in and it's locked. That takes care of that. All locked up tight. You should be able to make it clear to the exit.
Thank God for that. I hate to admit it, Litz, but you did good back there.
Hey, thanks, Hassenkamp. You too. Now, you two ready to get out of there? You have to even ask? Alright, let's see what we can do about that. Head for the front door this time, though. Not through the alley. What? Just go with me on this one, Chief. The door that you came in through is no good. You want to go out the front. There's a terminal you'll need to access. One more button to push. You do that, and we're home free. Alright, Blitz. Good, and make sure that Hassenkamp comes out with you. Gotta make sure that box makes it back to Grinder. Feel like we're setting somebody up here. As long as it's not me, I don't think I care. I think we get to auto-recover our drone. Where is the front door? Over there, okay. But we lost our best drone. I didn't really want to stick around in that fight. We were not prepared for it. Alright, game saved. The auto turrets. Oh, they're gonna shoot the shit out of him, aren't they? Yes, indeedy. Or they're gonna shoot the shit out of us. One of the two. This looks like a place for a big-ass firefight, doesn't it? This must be this terminal that Blitz wanted you to use. Its screen is badly scratched, and the casing's cracked, but the design tells you it was originally a part of the bank's security system.
Come on, let's get to the show on the road. We're almost out of this godforsaken place.
Well, you're half right. Bod is almost out. You, on the other hand, won't ever leave this building, you son of a bitch.
Just stay quiet. You should tell your friends that this isn't funny, and that sure as hell isn't smart.
Don't listen to him, Chief. Hassenkamp is planning on screwing you. I've had a bot digging into the intel on that man ever since you stepped into the building. And let me tell you, he is not trustworthy.
Says the man who ratted out his own gang. To hell with this. I'm leaving.
I wouldn't if I were you. Bod there can kill you with the press of a button. I can? Well, more accurately, he can give me control of those auto turrets and with the press of a button, and then I can kill you.
But he wouldn't do that, would he?
Actually, he thinks that killing you is a great idea. You depress the button in the security console, and suddenly the air fills with a harsh rattling sound. The auto turrets in the corners of the room grind to life and they train themselves on the accountant.
You should have listened to me, Bond. It would have been quick and clean. 2 shots to the back of the head and then done. Now we're going to have to get messy.
You're gonna die, Hassenkamp. Blitz, you may fire when ready. And who bets that there's a stealth team in here? Chief, there's somebody in here with me. Hey, get away from that! To your horror, a pair of Blitz's auto turrets begin to recalibrate, and in unison they swivel to face you.
Oh, hell. Must be my lucky day.
Great. So 2 of the turrets are on my side. 2 of the turrets are not on my side. The intruder's avatar shimmers in the cool, ambient glow of the bank's matrix hub. He sneers at Blitz and his hands close into fists.
Who the hell are you, man? Could ask the same of you. You're in my banking system, you little bastard.
What?
My name is Blotz, and I run the Landenberg ring. That makes this bank, and everything in it, mine. That means that you and your friend are trespassing. And that means neither of you are going to make it out of here alive.
Oh, I'm shaking in my boots. I mean, seriously, how old are you, by the way? Because you look about 40.
I'm still spry enough to ruin your day, punk. Your ass is mine.
Okay, so it would be nice to take over some of these auto turrets. How tough is this guy? Jurgen Plotz in the open. Alright, let's hit him with erosion. I want him taking damage every round, even if we're running away. Now, we need to get damn close to that auto turret, because we cannot have it targeting us for too terribly long. Feel a little bad, because we probably could have, yeah, let's hit it. Alright, got it. And then 77%, he's out in the open. Missed. Hit him for 75. Hit him with the area of effect, just in case we miss again. That's another 75. Another 25. He's taking some real damage. Not enough. But, oh shit. He's got a program in here. Alright, we need to do a program. Execute attacker. Alright, so now we've got a buddy. Let's run over here. I want to hit him with erosion again. There we go. Now, if you will keep running more or less in the direction of being able to disable the other auto turret, I would appreciate it. Thank you. This guy can do a tar bomb, minus 50 IP damage, and sticks them in place so that they can't chase. Perfect. 50 IP and he can't move. Yeah, he's in the shit right now. Okay, this thing is changing the auto turrets. Well, this is a problem. But not as big of a problem as one might suspect. Activating control drone. And then I'm gonna actually run and get me some cover. That's a good piece of cover. Missed. Crit for 20. And a miss. If that drone goes down, we're in a bad way. That's all I have to say about that. If I can take this guy out, I'm not as worried about the turrets anymore. One more hit and I think we'll take him down. There we go, he's down. Go grab that, whatever the hell that is. Plots his custom software. Objective complete. Kill the enemy decker. That means his program left, too. Go hijack this other node as fast as you possibly can, sir. And then this other one can make its way towards the other one to try and reset it. It can be a race. Whoever can get there first gets it. I think we may have lost our other drone. It took some pretty big hits. It's still floating. It is barely intact. I've got one thing that I can do, so I can't hit it with the drone repair kit. It can't get close enough. So let's try... Come over here. Heal the drone. 35 HP healed. Nice. Try and shoot this fucker to death with bullets. He's between 3 of these, and we're under cover from the one, so... Grenade bad, but... Oh shit. That hurts. This guy's gonna die. There we go. Hassenkamp's body lies on the ground, riddled with bullets. Some of the turret fire must have caught the box that he was carrying, and it lays splayed open, its electronic guts spilled across the floor. Bad news, Blitz. That mystery box of yours is no more. Damn. Well, that's okay, Chief. I helped keep you from eating a bullet, and that's what's most important. Besides which, that Decker had some direct-hot programs loaded onto his rig, and I managed to snatch up one of them, too. Looks like some sort of hijacking tool for taking over hostile ice. Yeah, that sounds whiz. Hey, Blitz? Yeah, Chief? When I get home, we're gonna have a talk about your planning abilities. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Seems like we can just leave. You are about to exit this location and return to the Kreuzbazaar. Continue? You betcha. The ride back to the Kreuzbazaar is a lonely one. The train car smells a little better than the one you rode in on, but it isn't great. At least it doesn't leave you gagging. Still, things are looking up. You helped Blitz pull himself out of hot water, and with any luck at all, you'll never have to set foot into Dragonfall again. After a long, boring trip, the car rattles to a stop and the doors slide open. You are home. So we gained 2 karma. Let's go talk to him. We did get our little drone back, so it seems to have been fully repaired. That's good. I figured it would. Every time we lose somebody in a mission, we get them back. With the exception of the As Technology run, and they very explicitly warned us in advance. Oi, Chief! Thanks again for the help with that little side run. I really do appreciate it. I'm a happy guy. Really. I am. Yeah, so how's the whole Emily thing going? Any luck with the search? Yeah, actually. I made some solid headway. For the first time in a year, I've got a solid lead. I thought I'd looked everywhere, between my contacts and myself. We scoured all of M's old haunts, both in Meat Space and the Matrix, but what I never thought to do was dig for clothes in my own cyber deck. It seems so obvious now, but back then I couldn't see it. I mean, she was running from me, right? So why would she leave a trail of breadcrumbs for me? Anyway, I did some housekeeping, and in my porn folder I discovered something. On the morning that Emily disappeared, some information vanished from my cyber deck as well. So she did a good job of covering her tracks, but I can see the signs. She grabbed the file and ran. End of story. What kind of data? No idea, Chief. I mean, I grabbed it on a lark when me and Emily were goofing around in the Matrix. File was encrypted all to hell, and I could never get it open. I only took the damn thing because she told me not to. She said that the security would be too tight and I'd get myself killed. So, I mean, I just waltzed in there and took it all the same. You should have seen me. It was such a thing of beauty. Like, I don't think I've ever been as much on my A game as I was that day. Blitz, where did you take the data from? The corporate D-base. You know, no big deal. Which corporation? Oh, you know, no one important. I stole the file from Az Technology. In hindsight, it might not have been the best of ideas. You don't mess with the Azzies, Blitz. Everyone knows that. Except for us. We blew up a whole fucking building of theirs. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Emily wasn't too impressed either. Our only really big fight was over that stupid file. Anyway, time passed. Eventually we made up and laughed the whole thing off, or at least I thought we did. Truth be told, I forgot all about it until I realized that the data had gone missing. So, the love of your life took your encrypted file and bailed on you. What you gonna do about it? I don't know, Chief. The whole incident has me rethinking a lot of things. I mean, what if she took the file to protect the Azzies? What if she's with them? I mean, I've got to admit, it's got me worried, and I'm even more torn up now than I was before. I don't know what to do, but I'm open to suggestions. I mean, I don't know, man. You got a direction to look in now. If I were you, I'd get back into the Matrix and find her. Who am I kidding? You're right. I won't be able to stop thinking about this till I found her. So I might as well keep trying. Thanks, Chief. You've been a great help. Yeah, you let me know how that turns out. I will, Chief. I will. But hey, wait. Any runs you want to talk? Anything about that last run you want to talk about? Nah, nothing that we haven't already talked about, Chief. Well, we got a glitch, huh? Apparently, we're able to double trigger this, but I wasn't able to trigger the thing about his loyalty mission after this. That's annoying. Alright, so what's the deal? Was she working for the Azzies or what? No, I don't think so, but I do have a new lead. After our talk, I went wading into all the Az Technology Matrix hubs that I could find. I mean, nothing too deep, don't worry. I didn't want to set off any alarm bells, but I had a hunch that if I poked around long enough, I'd find something that would lead me to her. And sure enough, I did. A message from her herself. Okay, so she messaged you? Yep, she sent a note. You want to hear what she said? I'll tell you. The note said, and I quote, "Lay off, Blitz. I told you to leave me alone. You've shown admirable self-control over the past year. Please don't give up on it now. I'll be back when I can, if I can. Until then, keep away from me for both of our sakes." So I found her, and she wants nothing to do with me. Again, no explanations, no apologies, just a verbal pat on the butt. I've shown admirable self-control? Really? She makes it sound like I'm a toddler or something. So did you lay off? Hell no! I wasn't gonna stand for that. Where does she get off stealing from me and then acting like it was my fault? Tried to trace the message like any good Decker would. You're an idiot, Blitz. Hey, could an idiot turn up another clue in under a day? No, I don't think so. So take your insults and choke on them. Great, so what's the other clue? I found a connection between her and Satyr Krupp. So you think she works for SK then, and she stole encrypted data file from you to give to them? Well, maybe. I don't know. It's confusing. Like, I was also trying to track down some message fragments connecting her to the Schockfellenreiter. So maybe she was a Satyr Krupp mole, and she got close to me so that she could, I don't know, she could profit from my decking expertise, right? Maybe she told me not to steal that data and she's using reverse psychology. That's gotta be it. She must have wanted me to take it. But then, maybe she's with the Shockvellenreiter, and she's screwing both the Azzies and SK over. And if that's the case, she was with me because she wanted to be. In either case, I should make an effort to find her. I mean, she's playing a really dangerous game, whether she's with SK or the Shockvellenreiter. Maybe she's gotten herself in too deep. She might need help. I mean, why else would she send such a cryptic message? Blitz, the message was far from cryptic. She wants you to stay away. Far, far away. Yeah, I mean, that's what she said, but I bet she doesn't mean it. She probably just didn't want to worry me, or maybe she said it under duress. I mean, you gotta agree, it's worth checking out. Blitz, listen to me. This is a bad idea, and nothing good is going to come from it. You're putting her in danger. You worry too much, Chief. I'm the best, remember? So where's the harm in digging a little deeper? I mean, Em might need me. Man, if this is how you acted when you two were together, I can see why she left. Whoa, that was a really messed up thing to say, Chief. It was also accurate. You routinely ignore those around you because you think that you know better, and I'm here to tell you, you do not know better. But Blitz, listen to me. You need to show some more of that self-control and drop this. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, boss. You win. I'll let it go. Jesus Christ, Blitz. So we'll just talk to him later. There's nothing else for it. Okay. God damn. So we didn't make any money, but Blitz is loyal? Not super in debt anymore or something? We did get a grenade launcher out of it. So we got that going for us. Which is nice. Post pay data? I don't think we have any. Yeah, we have no pay data. We've got some topics matching local keywords here. Let's see here. Kaboom! Did you feel that shake a few hours ago? Not an earthquake, and as the facility went sky high downtown. Boom. You can see the smoke from here. A friend of mine down there says there was a power spike that blew their generators. I doubt it. Only Shadowrunners have that sense of flair. You're kidding me, right? The huge one that sprung up 6 months ago? That place must have cost millions to build. If it was runners, I hope they got a major payday. No way I'd go anywhere near an Azzy facility without a trunk full of ammo and a mage watching my back. Honestly, the power spike version sounds more likely. I've walked past that facility, and they have guards posted at the door 24/7, not to mention the automated turret systems backing them up. There's no way that someone got paid to just waltz through that scheisse. No way. So dig this. Apparently, there were some survivors wandering around a U-Bahn station near the blast site. Some Bumona folks approached to see if they had accounts, and one of them said that they had to keep running, and then they all took off down the tunnel. Well, sure, with a blast of that magnitude, they were probably all in shock. Hey, found another post about a bunch of glassy-eyed people wandering around town. It said that they were all wearing hospital gowns. The Bumona people must have hooked them up. They keep all sorts of medical gear in their rescue wagons. Maybe they were Azzy guinea pigs. Yeah, clearly they're talking about the clones. Help me find my daughter. Please help me find my daughter. She ran away from home. She is human in her early 20s with short blonde hair and a data jack. She was last seen wearing a light blue dress. This is not exactly the place to be looking for missing kids. How did you even get in here? I paid good money to get on here. I was told you people could help. If you got the new yin, you came to the right place. I sent you a number that you can reach me at. Man, the old help me find my missing kid routine. A classic. My money is on escaped wage slave. Make sure you do your homework, Ruby. It looks like someone tried an old-fashioned bank robbery out in Dragonkeeper the other day. One of those old, defunded banks still had some funds in it, apparently. And those poor bastards ran afoul of the building's defense turrets. Wasn't much of him left. Speaking of which, a friend out in Berlin tells me that the biggest loan shark in Dragonkeeper got taken down yesterday, some fat, sad sack troll called Meat Grinder. My pal was supposed to run collections for him, and instead of getting paid, he wound up having to deal with the body. Sounds like a revenge hit to me. What goes around comes around. That tub of lard will keep the ghouls fed for a month. Forget the ghouls, think of all the people who just had their credit restored. Free money! Alright, has anybody got a good backup plan for when you get stuck with a tracer? I barely managed to bug out of my apartment after a corp hit squad came knocking. Lesson learned, pat yourself down a couple times and make sure you don't have a tail. But if I miss something, I'd rather keep my safe houses, safe. I had good luck with RF blockers. I have a jamming grid set up near my safe house. It projects signals to a few miles away, where I've got some cameras placed. So when someone shows up there, I know that they were trying to find me, and then I do a thorough sweep to find the tracker. Sharp. How long does that go on before they give up? Usually rule of threes. I keep reprojecting the signal to different locations. In my experience, they give up after the third one's a dead end, and they stop listening to that RF signal. That's pretty clever. Alright, no new messages. Jobs directory here. View pending and active jobs. We're going to go ahead and take the Mark 6 prototype. We've already listened to it, so let's just accept it. We're not going to do it yet. But we did pick up the little black box, so apparently he left it with us. Let's talk to Glory. Now that we've run a mission, can we continue? Glory's pallid face lights up at your approach. A genuine smile spreads across her lips. So you ready to tell me about that chrome you're sporting? Be patient, Bod. The explanation for that is coming. I'm not sure you're going to like it, though. Well, you needed time. I gave you time. Are you ready to talk about the Fire Stella yet? Yeah. Glory looks troubled, more so than you've ever seen her before. Whatever painful memories she's dredging up must be exceedingly painful. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been looking forward to this. But yeah, it's time. Bod, look, I'm going to tell you some things about myself that might change your opinion of me. It's entirely possible that you're going to hate me based on what's coming up next. I've accepted that. And if that's what happens, I sincerely believe that I deserve it. So, tell me, are you sure that you want to keep pushing towards this? This is important, Glory. After everything that you've been through, I think that we both know that. Whatever you have to tell me, I'm ready to listen. Thanks, Bod. Thanks for being a friend. So when we left off last time, I had just moved from the streets of Tübingen to the warm, inviting confines of Firestella. Marta and I were happy there for a little while, and Harrow embraced me as a long-lost daughter. I should probably take a moment to talk more about Harrow. He's going to be an important figure in this story. I don't know what his age was. He seemed old enough to be paternal, but young enough to hang with the kids on something like a peer level. Best guess, I'd say he was in his mid-20s. He was handsome and well-built, with a neatly trimmed beard and thick brown hair, and there was something else about him, something uncanny. Harrow had this charisma, this raw, magnetic attraction that just made people latch onto him. I saw it over and over. All it took was a few words and a pat on the shoulder, and Harrow would have a new convert. The other kids at the farm, they followed him around like lost puppies. As much as I loved Marta, and as much as I thought that she loved me, we forgot all about each other when Harrow was around. All that we wanted to do was be close to him, to be a part of his inner circle. And soon enough, we were. For a girl of 17, it was all terribly exciting. Harrow had these rules of living that he would teach us, rules about self-determination and the importance of disobedience. He claimed to have taught classes at the University of Berlin, which he painted as a mix between an earthly paradise and an anarchist playground. He told us how Firestella would be the focal point for a new movement for children of the fatherland. He told us that we were special. And we ate it up, of course, because we were kids. For those of us in the inner sanctum, Harrow would share even more. He had powers the likes of which I'd never seen, not in my father's drunken fists or my own childish experiments, but genuine, incredible power. He said that it came from the Horned God, an ancient deity that he venerated. He knew about my latent abilities right away, and he offered to teach me. Naturally, I accepted. I've heard of the Horned God before. His followers have a poor reputation, especially among women. Any bad reputation that they might have gained is well-deserved, but there's more to it than that. You'll see. Hang with me, Bod. Rough waters ahead. So I became Harrow's apprentice, and he taught me to channel magic and summon spirits. He taught me rituals and pagan traditions and Machiavellian philosophy and Nietzschean ethics. Above all, he taught me to connect with his horned god, and through it I learned power and arrogance. It was all downhill from there. For the next few years I lived at Firestella in Harrow's enforcer and right-hand girl. I was his sometimes wife and concubine, but that was a distinction I shared with all the girls in the commune, including my beloved Marta. I came to learn that she'd been his long before she met me, but by that point, I didn't care. I'd embraced the rules of living. I was Harrow's creature through and through. I didn't ask questions, and I walked the path that was in front of me. Other fun facts about those years? I learned cruelty. I had power now, and my new idol encouraged me to use it. Harrow did the same. Any children who didn't pull their weight were subjected to my tender mercies, and I was anything but tender. I took what I wanted, rather than asking for it. And I liked it. It was fun. I also came to learn that Harrow's horned god was not just icon first worshipped by throwback cults across Germany. It was certainly a god with horns, but it came from an altogether different tradition. Care to hazard a guess? I want to hear you say it. Satan, Lucifer, Old Scratch. In the magically active community, refer to it as the adversary, whatever you choose to call it. It's every bit as bad as it sounds. So my idol, the ancient deity that was feeding me my power, was the antithesis of everything that is right and good. And you know what? I didn't care. In our time together, Harrow and I had committed more atrocities than I could count. At this point, I was onto all of his tricks. I knew that Firestella was nothing more than a honey trap, carefully designed to lure local children into my master's clutches. I knew that the kids who seemed resistant to Harrow's brainwashing techniques somehow wound up fertilizing the garden. I knew that Harrow's entire manifesto was bullshit. And I knew that through it all, Harrow and the adversary were laughing, because I was laughing right there with them. I don't want to pin the blame for my decisions on anyone but me. That said, I would like to posit that my father's connection to the Kreuzritters might have helped play into my willingness to serve the adversary. In my warped, indoctrinated little brain, I equated the church with evil, so the opposite of that, I figured, had to be, well, if not good, then at least not totally bad. But I was kidding myself, of course. My new deity was the very definition of bad. Serving it made me bad. End of story. Whew. Well, I can't excuse the choices that you made, but I guess I can understand why you made them. That's big of you, Bod. I genuinely mean that. Anyway, one day, Harrow invited me on a field trip to Stuttgart. Over the years that I was at Firestella, the commune had easily doubled in size. It was thriving, all thanks to the efforts of Marta and the girls like her. Harrow would send the kids out into the neighboring cities to lure in the street kids that nobody would miss. He targeted children because they were easy to indoctrinate, and because nothing makes the adversary happier than the corruption of the innocent. As we drove out to pick up the new recruits, I was already planning ahead. It was a foregone conclusion that I would pay my father a visit. The irony of a group of Kreuzritters actually getting immolated by a genuine servant of the actual devil tickled me to no end. So when Harrow stopped to fill up on diesel, I hopped out of the van and headed on foot to my parents' place. Harrow wasn't overly concerned about my absence. I had long since reached the point where I could assert my autonomy, and he knew that I'd be back. I wound up at my folks' house sometime around noon. I could hear the adversary whispering in my ear, telling me what to do. I'd long since learned to listen to its voice. It always rewarded me with extra power when I did its bidding. It told me to knock, so I did. As the door opened, I could feel a torrent of flames welling up in the astral plane all around me. It told me to channel them into the doorway, into my father. So I did. But of course the person who opened the door wasn't my father. It was my mother. As I watched her flesh blacken and melt, as I heard her scream, I broke into hysterics. I heard the adversary laugh, and at that moment, I realized it was laughing at me. Sorry. Thanks. We're almost to the end now. Thanks for sticking with me. But it was like a lever had been pulled. All at once, the bubble popped. I wasn't a powerful servant of the adversary. I was not Harrow's #1 girl. I was a ridiculous little fool who'd willingly tied her soul to the worst thing in existence. Realizing all this was one thing. Actually fixing it was something else entirely. I knew that I had to get away from Harrow. It was the first thing to do. So I bit my lip, and I did my best to ignore the happy babble of the new recruits on the trip back to Firestella. I managed to get through the ride without screaming. Once we were back in the commune, I broke into Harrow's safe. I stole all the commune's resources, and I ran. I don't know when Harrow realized what I'd done, or whether he even cared. All I know is that nobody came after me, so I kept running and running until I got to Berlin. Getting past the wall was fairly simple. You know how easy it is to obtain falsified papers. The biggest obstacle that I faced during my flight was the adversary itself. I could run from Harrow, but how do you run from something that's tied to your own soul? Oh God. Glory. The haunted look in Glory's eyes is heartbreaking. She gives you another curt, grim nod. I walked into the office of the first street doc that I could find. I pointed at all of the biggest, bulkiest pieces of cyberware that he had on display, and I told him to put them into me. He tried to upsell me on better merchandise, arguing that what I was asking for was old and inefficient, better suited to be installed in a museum than a body. He told me that I'd be shredding my essence, and that once it was gone, I'd never be able to get it back. I stuck to my guns. After all, shredding my essence was the whole point. Glory looks up at you. Her eyes are sunken and hollow, and the aura of loss about her is palpable. She looks like a woman who has been through hell. That's all for now, Bond. You've heard the tale. You know why I am the way I am. You know the things that I've done, and how much I have to atone for. If you still want my company, fine. But if I've lost your friendship, I understand that too. Right now, I need to be alone. Damn, guys. Just damn. Okay. So, she wound up serving the devil willingly. When she realized what a fool that she'd been made of, she did everything that she could possibly do to destroy her soul, to try and sever its link to her. Every part of her that made Glory, Glory, she tried to cut out. Yeah, Glory is absolutely an amazing character. Alright, let's go sell some stuff. Believe me, we've seen the other loyalty missions. Glorious loyalty mission, maybe one of the most maybe the most satisfying mission in the game. It's coming. Don't worry. For right now, let's sell some of this extra junk. What do we got here? Well, now that we have a grenade launcher, I don't think we need the smart link. We got lots of advanced health kits. Let's go ahead and sell the cram. Cool. We still do not have level 3 items yet. We're going to have to do some other mission before we can get there. I think the loyalty missions would still be there as long as we don't move on to the next actual phase of the game. Trying to recall. Alright, but we do need to go to the Cyberdock. I want another gold trauma kit, because we used ours to self-resurrect earlier. Or honestly, if they've got a platinum, maybe a platinum. But I'm not sure they sell it this early in the game yet. I say this early. We're a bit past halfway. So what do we have here? Boom. Everything else is fine. Okay, cool. So, we've got Iger's mission to do, and we have the Mark 6 mission to do. I'm pretty sure Iger's mission is going to just stick around. We don't have to do it yet. But I think we should probably do it anyway. We're right near where we should do it. And these loyalty missions, while not particularly rewarding, they do net us a little bit of karma. And they do drastically expand the story. So into their Vine Killer. Alright, so what's going on here? We got lucky. Iger's contact is a man named Bannock. The dwarf has a distinctly Eurasian appearance. He peers up at Iger through almond-shaped eyes. The rest of his broad face is dominated by strong Slavic features. He nods to himself and puts down his mug of soy calf. On the edge of the table, a plate of day-old pie cools in a haze of cigarette smoke. Oi, Iger. It's been a long time. Keeping busy? You could say that. God, this is Bannock. He's a friend. Don't know if I'd go that far. Nothing personal, you understand, but if I were to start keeping friends, I might call you one. But in my experience, friendship and obligation go hand in hand. A solitary life is cleaner. Professional acquaintance, then. Better. Now, let's get down to business, shall we? Let's. We need intel on the engineer, where he's staying, who he's working for, and how long he's been in Schottenest. Whatever you've got, we want it. He spears a hunk of pie with his fork and crams it into his mouth and starts to chew. A moment later, he shrugs. I've had worse, and of course, I'll give you what I can, but I don't know much. I can point you in the right direction, and that's all. Just tell us what you can. We'll handle the heavy lifting. The dwarf nods and then fumbles in his jacket pocket for something. A moment later, he produces a weathered paper map and spreads it on the table. All right. What you're looking for is at the northwest quadrant of the Schottenest. This is gang territory, all of it. These days, the whole Keats is being held by Rambach. Okay, we've had a run-in with them. We can handle them. Wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. The guy that filled the power vacuum when their last leader bit it is a real piece of work. But hey, maybe you're right. I hope so for your sake.
This warehouse right here is Rambach HQ, and that's where the engineer is staying.
Wonderful. If he's staying there, he must be arranging some sort of deal with them.
That'd be a safe bet. And as they haven't pulled their guns on him yet, it's fair to assume that negotiations are going well. I'm sure that I don't need to tell you this, but the last thing that we need is an alliance between some foreign syndicate and Rambach. Nothing good could come from that.
Can't argue with that.
Now, I can't tell you who the engineer is working for. You'll have to ask him about that yourself. But what I can do is make it easier for you to have a sit-down with him.
Bannock reaches under the table and brings up a canvas bag. He places it in front of you and pushes it forward.
Don't open that in here. There are people in this room who would kill you for what's in that bag.
We could say, I'd kill them first, but what is it?
What you're gonna find in there is a gadget about the size of a water pistol. It has a rubberized grip and a hair trigger, and it's good for one shot.
Is it a stun gun?
No. Well, not really. For your purposes, you might as well think of it as one, though. The object in question is a cyberware deactivator. I had it shipped here at great personal expense from a supermac prison in the UCAS. The warden owed me a favor.
Very nice, Bannock. That should make this easy.
Not easy. Possible. I wouldn't be giving it to you if the job could be done without it. The engineer is rocking Delta-grade move-by-wire system. Unless you can shut it down, there is no way in hell that you're going to catch him.
And if we do shut it down, he'll be forced into a state of permanent seizure.
Only until he gets the thing up and running again. Deactivated isn't the same thing as broken. So until then, yeah, his life will be a living hell. But I can think of worse things to use as a bargaining chip. Remember, you need to know who he works for. The more you can take out of his comfort zone, the better.
Okay,
let's go hunting.
Thanks, Bannock. We'll let you know how things work out.
Don't bother. I'll be watching.
Okay. So, we got a doodad that's going to deactivate all of his cyberware. So he must be chromed up. Like, really big. Alright, let's go find the U-Bahn. Thank you, Venomy. Venomy says that I pronounced Vine Keller perfectly.
Do you hear that? I'm perfect.
Look what she started. Alright, so let's go ahead and call Iger and travel to the Shotten Nest to locate the engineer. So we'll take Iger, obviously, and we'll travel to the Shotten Nest. Okay. The engineer, you guys. Shotten Nest. The Keats next door to the Kreuzbazaar, and an object lesson in anarchy gone wrong. Violent gangs rule the streets here, invading territory to the roar of gunfire. The streets are a war zone. As dangerous as Shotten Nest already is, it could be worse. The gangs are vicious, but disorganized. They pose little threats to their neighbors. With little more than a makeshift barricade and a few volunteers, the Kreuzbazaar has successfully insulated itself from the chaos of its neighboring Keats. The engineer could change all of that. He has to be stopped, and the F-State as a whole needs to be alerted to what these clients are trying to do. It's up to you and Iger to make sure that that happens. There's our little stun gun doohickey. We have a gold trauma kit, 2 grenades, 2 med kits. She's carrying... Well, let's give her a trauma kit. And then we'll leave one slot open for her. Because, I mean, you never know. You have karma available. 5 karma. Not enough. Exit. As you near the edge of the Kreutz Bazaar, the familiar piss and asphalt stench of Schottenest crawls into your nostrils and sticks to the back of your throat. The dilapidated husks of burnt-out buildings loom above you, placing an air of menace. I was hoping I'd put this place behind me after the Humanus run. Yeah, I'm with you there. The funny thing is, a syndicate presence might actually help Schottenest, in the short term at least. They'd clean up the streets, if nothing else. Huh, don't tell me you're changing your mind. Not for a second. A syndicate, any syndicate in Schottenest would be a disaster for the Kreutz Bazaar. Let the people on the other side of the gate deal with their own problems. I won't allow my home to be endangered for their sake. Alright. We bought some really sweet noodles here last time. Does not appear to be an option. We've talked to the Keats gatekeeper before, dwarf to dwarf, and he let us in. Let's see if he'll do it again. You again? Well, you ignored my warning last time, and you ain't dead, so I guess you can handle yourself. Let him through, Sergey. Alright, well. Zoom out a little bit and see what we can see. There's a cardboard box over here. Oh my. You would think there would be a lot of these around here, but maybe there's somebody in it. The cardboard box is filled with makeshift bedding. A homeless person might be using it to keep warm at night. I'll go ahead and search the box. Find a basic, uncertified cred stick under the pillow. You think that we should take some homeless man or woman's cred stick? I mean, no. Considering that we haven't spent like any of our nearly 12,000 new yen, whatever 15 new yen that I'm going to get from some homeless dude doesn't seem to be worth it. So really, we can't go down any of these side streets. This is just as straightforward as you would want it to be. What's back this way? Ah, Rambach's gang is up ahead. Maybe there's another way around? Maybe. I certainly see a summoning point here. Oh! Well, maybe this way is the less dramatic. That water spirit just fucked off. Oh! It broke loose! She summoned it once and it immediately broke loose. Oh, dude, it straight murdered that guy. Awesome. Alright, the only problem with this is that we can't just kill the summoner. Oh well. Let's activate both of our drones. 30 damage. 20 damage. Alright, little drones. Hello, Emily. Uh-oh, what's it gonna do? Ow! 23 damage. That's a real problem. Kill this guy before... I mean, I want that health back. Take him out. Boom. Oh, no headshot there. And dead. Are we still in combat? Because I would like my health back from not being in combat anymore. Nope, here they come. Well, as long as we don't get hit again, I think we still get our health back. We really need some better... anything. If Iger comes back here, I think she can use her sniper rifle. 57. I wish we could get a better number than that. Not enough. Alright. Come on, murder boxes. And dead. And there we go. We got all of our hit points back. That is the good thing about ending a combat while you still have a wound on you. Your last wound is healed. You have a chance to bandage it or whatever the hell else. Alright, I wonder what they're doing over there. Looks like that's a way through. Guess we could have gone that way and avoided that fight, but I don't feel like we would have just gone over somewhere else and not had them run up on us from behind. Alright, so we've got some gangers here. Does this lead in there? No idea, this place is enormous. Dick's enormous. Haha! Alright, let's talk to the man. What do you want? Looking for some info. I bet you are. I've seen your type before. You're probably looking for someone or looking for something that's been stolen. Either way, the Rambach won't be happy about you sticking your nose into Shatnest. Well, new in town. What's hot around here? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. All there is to do in Shatnest is get your arse beat by gangs until you decide to join one. And why don't you move? It takes money. Rent ain't free. Unless you're suggesting I start living on the street. At least here I've got a roof over my head. Alright, whatever. I'm out of here, dick. Hey, lady. Are you any more reasonable than that guy? I got pots. I got pans. You need pots and pans? No, but info would be good. Yeah, I've seen some stuff about the Rambach. What's it to ya? Look, man, I'll make things go very bad for the Rambach once I know where their friend is staying. They're just down the street, in the warehouse with the grass up front. The new guy showed up a few days ago. Seems like some bigwig. They've been moving product through there ever since. What kind of product? It cost you extra. Fine, here's $25. Drugs, guns, the usual. Seems like more drugs than guns lately, so maybe things will pick up around here. No problem, honey. I got the best deals on pots and pans this side of Spandau. Yeah, all them pots and pans. Alright, so no alternate way in through here. What if we sneak down this little alley here? Never mind, it's not an alley. Yes, we did have the time change. Alright, what have we got here? I've got a door panel. I've got a motorcycle. What is up with the motorcycle? You're going to change to time -1 at the end of the month. See, not even everybody can still... If they're doing it, they don't even do it at the same time. Motorcycle is still warm. Somebody's been here. Let's use this door panel. Let's see if we can go in through the recycling center. We're just going to go ahead and bypass the code input mechanism and unlock the door. It's nice to be the hacker. Okay. In there. That's our man. Rambach Conjurer, Rambach Ganger. That must be the engineer there. He is really chromed up. Hell, so is she. Alright, we need to find cover, and we need to be able to move there in 1. That's not an exploding barrel, so this is a good spot for us. And then we'll activate one of our drones. We'll put the Steel Lynx drone. Switch to Iger real quick. Iger. This guy has got light cover, medium cover. Can you take out that Ganger, please? Hell of a shot. It could have gone better, really. Well, unfortunately, Emily, one state can't do it. Hell, even the country can't do it. We have international treaties that basically make it a whole thing. Nice. Since we have trading partners that use it, Canada and Mexico, we have to basically renegotiate those agreements. Oh no, did that thing come loose? I think it did. Yes, you can get grandfathered into it, but you can't just change it now, apparently. Don't know why, but that's how it is. This guy is just cruising around. Oh, don't do it. Oh, you dick. I hate you for that. That's a good place. That'll give us some cover from the other person. Alright, Iger, try your interdiction shot that ignores armor. You missed. God damn. Alright, well the thing unsummoned. At least we have that. Let's activate our other drone. That'll make life interesting. And dead. Switch Iger to our shotgun here. Ran away! Don't blame him. Cool. It's not really cover, but let's try it. Gotta get everybody over there. There's nothing, there's no control panel over here that we need to go in or anything else like that, so everybody just needs to advance. Yeah, it's weird when you're used to it being light outside and suddenly it's not light outside anymore. Now, we are going to get drastically far behind if we don't deactivate one of these drones. So Guess we'll deactivate that one, even though I just moved it in there. Made it a good scout, but we need to be able to move at least one. We're holding the taser deactivator thing, actually, so... Let's go ahead and deactivate all the drones. That way we have our 2 movement. Iger can just continue to cover for the moment. Okay, 2 rounds. That's a 2. So 1. And then we'll move, we'll do a full 2. We can go straight out this way, it looks like, but I really want to kind of know what's in this lab. Oh, actually we can't. It looks like this gateway manages to block us off. Okay. Let's get Iger in there. So yeah, we're kind of just advancing by the numbers here. As you would expect. Cool. So nobody's just coming through the door. Looking good, you guys. Let's go see what's in this next room. Yep. Not what I thought. Okay. So. Iger needs to advance. None of this is really coverable. This is cover. That'll work. Missed! Shazbot. Not really a good spot for cover. So, let's move over here for 1. And then activate our drones. We'll just watch through the little video camera. There's no need for us to be in the way. Oh, you shot the little drone. You bastard. Well, if you like him so much, I'll just send him back here to play with you. It's really not any kind of cover, right? It's light cover. $12 damage, good. Shoot this bitch. He's right next to it, and she's still 63% with 6 armor. What a mess. Oh, you couldn't hit the little drone, huh? You idiots. Now, why don't you pull back a little bit? Because I think my shotgun's actually going to hit them both. No, not both, but, you know, good enough. Time to deactivate these guys. Oh, okay, there we go. Time for us to deactivate the other one. Start moving into the room. I think there's just the one guy left. Although that would really make for a short mission, wouldn't it? Look at this guy, this Rambach Enforcer, literally just hanging out, waiting. What do you think's through that door? You think that's where the bad guy ran out? Alright, so we're going to activate one of the drones. Let's activate the Strato drone. Let's let her go ahead and reload for one. Aim. And the Strato drone can go open the door. There's probably some Overwatch going on. Well, maybe not. Let's get a flank. Oh, he moved and he managed to not get... Interesting. Alright, we're gonna have to repair that drone if we can't kill this guy like this turn. That's pretty bad. Alright, Iger. There we go, -1 AP. Do I have anything I can do anything with? We've got the cyberware. No. Don't have enough to throw a grenade. We can activate the other drone. I guess that's what we'll have to do. Okay, he's down. Combat amazingly still not over? Wow. That means there's somebody still down here. Somewhere. Alright, we'll advance Iger down that way. I don't know what's down there, but I need this combat to be over. We need to reset the health on all these things. That's odd. I thought maybe that would be a computer control panel or something that we could use. Does not seem to be. Alright, crap. Streets. Let's go see what's out there on the mean streets. I didn't see anything out here that indicated something we should pick up. There he is. Do not let the engineer escape. The engineer must survive. So we can't murder him. I mean, on the one hand, I'm okay with, like, not murdering him, but on the other hand, can we rough him up a little? Wow, 40 damage. Alright, time to move. He's so fast. I think he's setting up an ambush, though, for us, so let's get Iger up here. Like, way far back, like this. So her rifle has a chance of working. Yeah, there's a ganger. He's hurt, but not as hurt as you might expect. Let's do this so we're behind full cover. God damn, really? How close do we need to be to activate this thing? Nope, not anywhere near close enough. Wow, we were really terrible with that launcher. Ouch. Time to use a health kit. Out of ammo. Jesus, I just don't see how we could do this any faster. We could switch to her shotgun, I guess, and then advance by 1. But she's so slow. Okay. This is just asking for trouble. Now, the problem with the murder drones is they each take 1 hit point away from me, so if we do that, we really open ourselves up to some fuckery. God damn it. Of course it changed right... Well, whatever. Now I'm in a really bad spot, so let's go take the cover over here. Alright, I really don't want to use this med kit again, but hell, it's actually probably better for us to go ahead and use the trauma kit to just go down and then come back up. So, let's look at that, and we'll see what we can do. Sealy Bob, thank you for those gifted subs. Look at that. Holly and Emily both have some delicious, delicious stuff. We are really up in the soup game here. Alright. I don't know if we're supposed to just run him down into oblivion or what. Okay, he's under full cover there. Let's run up behind him. There we go. Crit for 2 AP damage. Shit. Yeah, run all the way up here. Alright, he really couldn't run any further, so I'm guessing this is about as far as he can go. Alright, he's fully out. We could run up ahead. I think we're going to. Can we use it yet? Nope. So you got a gun or anything? Let's see. If we get this close, can we use it? Nope. Not yet. Alright, I think we can do it now. Looks like we've closed the gap sufficiently. So, Iger, just run as far as you can run. And we're going to go use the cyberware deactivator. Not enough AP. Wow. I'm afraid to crit him and actually be able, and actually, like, kill him. Now we're close enough. This is just balls out running at this point. Tased you, bro. -6 AP. Clear the area of Ramsbach gangers. Do that. We can do that. That did it. Help me drag this guy back to the warehouse. We're gonna find out what he knows. Okay. The engineer lies splayed out on the ground, his body trembling violently. Iger shoves a bottle up his nose and squeezes. The engineer shudders violently, and then the trembling begins to subside. She glances at you. An aerosol BZD to help treat the seizures. Vanek was kind enough to include it with his goodie bag. It won't last long, but it should give Yuli here enough muscular control to answer a few questions. Fuck you, troll. See, he's talking already. The engineer's eyes burn with hate. Beads of sweat dot his brow as he struggles to control the tremors that rack his body. He takes a deep breath, holds it, and releases it slowly. The trembling begins to subside. So, okay here. This is interesting. We're now going to do some sort of interrogation, I guess? I don't really know. Hold on a second. All my lights have gone out here. I need to turn them back on. There we go. Alright, so trying to decide what we want to do. So let's just punch him right in the gut. The wind explodes out of the orc's lungs as your fist slams into his belly. His breath stinks of harissa and garlic. After a few panicked seconds, he manages to gasp out a word. Bastard! Hit him again. Language! You slam your fist into the bridge of his nose, and his head whips back, then comes forward again. A gob of phlegm splatters against your chest. The engineer crackles at you, a malevolent grin on his face. You sucker punched me before, okay, I admit. I was not ready. Now I am, and you, my darling dwarf, are weak. A word of advice that I will give you. You'd best kill me here, and I mean that. Because if I ever get off this floor, I'll snap you in half like a twig, and then I'll do the same to your she-troll friend. I think I'll step back and let the she-troll respond to that. Iger steps forward, a cruel smile on her face. You're going to want to start talking, Yuli. I promise you that. You can start by telling us whose payroll you're on. She grabs a fistful of the orc's hair and lifts his head, her face inches from his. Tell us who sent you to Schottenest. There's a long pause. Eventually, the engineer looks away. All right, you want to know so badly, I'll tell you. Tamanus sent me here. They want to use Schottenest as a base of operations in Berlin. My point of contact is a ghoul named Beetle. There, you've got your intel. Now set me free or kill me. Yuli. You wouldn't roll over on your employer this easily. Your rep tells me that much. No. No, Iger's right. You're jerking us around. You wanted a name? I gave you a name. You want more? I can give you those too. I give you the name of 100 clients who'd love a piece of Schottenest. How do you intend to determine who really sent me? I got a couple of ideas. You can try beating the truth out of me. You can try cutting me. Get creative with the pliers if you like. Every time you hurt me, I'll give you a different name. Torture me or don't, it'll all end the same way. I'll be dead, you'll know nothing for certain, and my clients will move on ahead on schedule. Well, if you're already dead, why do you care about being a snitch? I won't give your she-troll the satisfaction she wants it. That's why she won't get it. If you don't start telling me what I want to hear in the next 30 seconds, this is going to get messy. I'm just not going to say anything. You know, Iger. I'd like to tell you a story. We share so much history, you and I. Iger says nothing, but her eyes narrow. This is a funny story. It's about your time in the KSK. A story about futility. I can tell you all about the many lives that you've touched and how the syndicates touched them again afterwards. Would you like that? There's a long pause, and eventually Iger turns to face you. But do me a favor. Sweep the building for intel. Anything that we might have missed on the way in. I'm on it, and you take good care of our friend here. Yeah, I will. Don't worry. Wow, okay. So let's go looking for evidence. Let's go start in the first room that we were in. See if we can find anything here. Alright, we've got a ledger. What do we have here? There's a small ledger lying on this crate. The cover is cheap leatherette, and the paper is tissue-thin newsprint. The pages are filled to overflowing with handwritten text. You don't recognize the language, but judging by the accent marks, you'd guess it's a Scandinavian tongue. While you can't read it, the arrangement of the text tells you that the ledger is primarily being used as an address book. So we'll just pocket that and move on. What else do we have over here? We've got a forklift. What can we do with the forklift? The forklift's tires are flat. Looks like it hasn't been used in years, so nothing there. Alright. Let's head back into this room. See if there was anything else in here. And if not, we have another room that we can look at. Oh, and an extra door is now open too. Barrels. Chemical storage barrels. A light jostle shows that they're completely empty. Ah, courier drones. It looks melted. The cargo container is empty. And this one? This generic courier drone has been snapped together out of prefab parts from a dozen different manufacturers. It's a cheap utilitarian thing, remarkably only in that it's so incredibly plain. A half-bright teenager could cobble something like this together in an afternoon. The drone sits on a charging cradle, its turbofan unpowered. A cheerful green light blinks on its front to remind you that it is still active. You can see the silhouette of something under its flimsy plastic dome. Ah, whatever it was sent here to deliver, it's still carrying it. Let's see what we've got. You depress the switch on the container's plastic lid rather than swinging open. The lid slides back to reveal a touchpad. Let's just rig into the drone. Patching into the drone's OS via your remote control rig is simple enough, but you run into a hitch. Whoever set this thing up seems to have installed a number of anti-theft safeguards to prevent unauthorized access. You could attempt to slip your way past them, but there's no telling what will happen if you trip one. Let's go ahead and just see if we can push past it. We're a good rigger. Whoever put this thing together was good. Surprisingly good. But not as good as you. You slip past the drone's safeguards, and within seconds, its functions are yours. The plastic lid of the cargo container pops open with a click. Inside, you find what appears to be a homemade SimSense chip. It sits securely in a custom-made plastic bracket. You pop the chip out of its bracket and pocket it. A few seconds later, an angry hissing sound comes from somewhere deep within the drone. As you step away from the drone, the hissing sound grows into a roar. Bright white sparks spit out from the drone's melting chassis and streak across the room. You've seen this kind of reaction before. Thermite. Whoever built the drone must have wired it with a self-destruct device. Within seconds, all that's left of the little drone is a molten wreck on the charging cradle. Foul-smelling smoke pours from the remains. You steal another glance at the chip you recovered and turn away. Does it say anything about the chip inside the mission items thing? Nope, just homemade. And of course, we have our little black box from Herr Schmidt, which is for the Mark 6 run, which is what we will do next time. So we have a little... Oh, we found a body. Okay, interesting. The broken body of a human man lies on the floor. His face is a mess of fresh cuts and congealing blood. His head is oddly deformed. Despite his wounds, his mouth is twisted into a macabre smile. What do you want to bet he slotted the other SimSense chip that was probably in that other melted drone? Judging by the shape of the ganger's head, you'd guess that his skull has been fractured in at least 3 places. The center of his forehead is particularly gruesome. It looks soft, as though the skin were stretched like a tent between the shards of broken bone. Looking up, you can see a great smear of gore on the door to the room that you found him in. The implications are clear. This man bashed his head in trying to get out, and he did it with a smile on his face. His hands are badly broken, too. You've seen these sorts of injuries after bare-knuckle fistfights, but never anything this severe. This man punched something hard and went on punching it until his hands were reduced to useless slabs of meat. So let's draw a medical conclusion. All of these symptoms point to one thing. Something drove this ganger into a homicidal fury, and it didn't die out until he did. You've heard of pharmaceuticals that can cause this sort of reaction. PCP, Datura, substituted cathinones. But without a lab test, there's no way to say for sure what drove him to this. Well, true, but we also found the SimSense chip. And then we happened to find an interesting little ledger. I think we might be able to come back and use a little bit of evidence. We figured out what's going on. I think that he's using these SimSense chips to drive people into homicidal rages. I guess we'll find out. As you approach, you can see that the engineer's chest is sheeted in blood. Most of it seems to be streaming from his nose, which has been crushed into a wad of bloody meat. Iger turns to face you. Her bunched fists are dripping red. Find anything? She speaks to you through clenched teeth. Her voice sounds strained, and her cheeks are flushed. Having fun? I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing it because he deserves it. And if you knew half of what this bastard has done, you'd heard the same things that he just told me, you'd do the same. Fair enough. But don't get carried away. We need him. Just tell me what you found. Yes, please. Enlighten us. Well, I found a body in the other room. From the looks of it, he tried using his head to beat down a steel-reinforced door. Interesting, but not unusual in these parts. There are all kinds of drugs that could make a person act that way, and most of them aren't hard to get in a place like Schottenest. Did you find anything else? I found this ledger. I don't recognize the language, but it looks Scandinavian. Iger leafs through the journal, quickly flipping the soy calf-stained pages. Norwegian, maybe. I'm thinking that this is written in Bokmal. I can't read it, but it looks like a shipping manifest. Yeah, something like that. There's a lot of addresses in there. She rifles through the pages, flipping the cheat paper with her thumbnail. Looks like addresses all the way through. Some are annotated, but I can't see any names. 2/3 of the way through the book, she stops short. Find something interesting? Wordlessly, she turns the journal around, and at the top of the page, written in a different hand, is a single word. It's written in English, but you can understand it all the same. Wednesday. Yeah, not particularly helpful without a full date, but I guess it's something. Of course, Wednesday might not refer to a day of the week at all. It could be a code for something. Taken out of context like this, it's impossible to say. So what do you make of this? This should be good. It might be nothing, or it might mean that he's back in bed with the Lovachevsky syndicate. The engineer holds his silence. We'll just say nothing either. Did you find anything else? We need to be sure about this before moving forward. Well, there's a pair of courier drones in the other room. No markings. They looked custom built. One of them has been slagged and the other had this chip in its storage compartment. When you produce the chip, the engineer's eyes widen slightly. He turns his head and coughs rack his body. Interesting. This means something to you, Yuli? No identifying markings. I've seen enough BTLs in my time to know when I see it, but this is different. It's been modified somehow.
Go ahead and slot it, bitch. He'll take you on the ride of your life.
Smack him for me, will you? I'm busy.
Hit him. Your fist connects with the ruined meat of the engineer's nose. He coughs and chokes on his own blood and then spits a wad of it onto your chest. You don't know what you're holding, slag. He spits the words out like venom. His eyes are locked on the chip in Iger's hand. Slowly, he licks his lips. You don't deserve to touch that chip. I think you're right, Iger. I think our friend here is an addict. Fuck you.
The thing is, I know our friend's rep, and I'm telling you, he's much too careful to get addicted to Sims. If these things have him hooked that badly, they must be even more addictive than standard BTLs.
Well, this wouldn't be the first time something like that hit the streets. You talk with enough sim junkies, you'll hear all about it.
Interesting, tell me more.
There's a sort of legend out on the streets, the ultimate high. They called it 2XS.
Huh, never heard of it.
Supposedly, it hit the streets of Seattle a couple of years ago. It vanished after a couple months. There one day, gone the next, and nobody knows why.
Scary stuff. I haven't heard rumors of anything like that around here. Thank God.
I'm not saying that this is 2XS or even anything like it, but there are stims out there that are even stronger than BTLs. It's possible that this is one of them.
You got anything to add to that, Yuli?
You have no idea how wrong you are about all of this. He struggles to raise from the floor, but his muscles refuse to cooperate. Finally, he gives up with a scowl. If I could move my arms, I'd take that chip from you and show you what it does.
I'm sure that you would. Good find, Bod. We've struck a nerve. Any other thoughts?
Yeah. Actually, I might know where the other chip went. Do you remember the body I found in the other room?
Yeah, good thought. Go check it out, but be quick. I don't know how long it'll be before we have company here.
Alright, so we're gonna go check it out. Did he slot the other one? Is it the kind of thing that could drive a person mad to kill themselves?
The ruined body lies crumpled on the floor. Its fractured skull glistens wetly in the light. Let's search for the missing chip here. Peeling back a patch of matted hair, you find something that a casual viewer would have missed. This man had a chip jack. It's a cheap model, sufficient for loading SimSense chips and BTLs, but little else. Doesn't take much effort to pry it open. Inside the chip jack, you find a glob of plastic. It looks as though whatever this guy was running melted down sometime after he slotted it. A chip jack like this couldn't generate enough heat to destroy a SimSense chip. The only logical conclusion is that the chip itself was wired to melt down after use. Let's just go ahead and take that burnt out chip. I'm starting to think that this guy needs to go ahead and experience the chip directly. The engineer's eyes remain locked on the chip. His face has gone pallid white. His shirt is drenched with sweat. His eyes bulge, and his breathing is heavy. Iger glances up from your manic captive and looks you in the eye. Find what you were looking for?
Yeah, I pried this chip jack open and found a blob of melted plastic inside. It's still warm to the touch.
I've heard of things like this before. Single-use Sims, designed to self-destruct after they've been slotted. Keeps the customers from using the same BTL over and over again. I'd say you found our missing chip.
Yeah. But this isn't a BTL. BTLs don't make you cave your skull in. You don't know a damn thing. Why don't you educate us? The chip doesn't drive you insane. It opens your eyes. Slot one, and you become a god.
Iger stares at him, her expression flat. The engineer sneers.
I too was a skeptic, and then the wolf caught me, and I can see the raven open my eyes, and now at last I can see. Give me the chip. It was promised to me. I need it.
Tell us who you're working for, and it's all yours. The engineer spits out a mouthful of blood, and it hits the floor with a sickening splat. He grinds his teeth and then snarls out a single word.
Winter night.
There's a moment of silence, and finally, Iger speaks. Never heard of them.
course you haven't, bitch. If you had, you'd already be dead. They don't leave loose ends. They have money. She-troll. Money and influence enough to put the syndicates to shame. And I cannot say how much, but I know what I've seen is just the tip of the spear. Alright, let's say you're telling the truth. And that some sort of secret society is behind this. What do they want with the Shotten Nest? They don't tell me these things. All I know is that they want to store things here. Crates, boxes shipped from all over. No cargo inspections. No traces back to them. So what are they shipping in? Weapons, drugs, more of these BTLs? You think that I asked them? It's not my place to know. All I know is that what was promised to me. Give me the chip you promised. He promised you the chip. Iger smiles at the engineer, and slowly she pulls the knife from her belt. Its serrated edge glints in the light. I, on the other hand, didn't offer you a goddamn thing. She's got you there. Iger leans in to look the engineer in the eye. She grins. Goodbye, Yuli. She plunges her blade into the engineer's throat, and the orc lets out a startled, gurgling sound, thrashes, and dies. Iger wipes her hands clean and looks up, with an expression of grim satisfaction on her face. Well, that takes care of that. Thanks for the assist, fearless leader. No problem, but we're not done yet. We still have Winter Night to deal with. Can't do it, fearless leader. What you're suggesting is beyond the scope of our capabilities. I don't have any contacts in Norway. We wouldn't even know where to begin looking for Winter Night, and if we found them, what then? The two of us aren't going to stop an international conspiracy on our own. We're good, but we're not that good. Fine. We'll let the Flux State handle it. Good call. Now, there's just one more thing I want to do before we head back home. We still need to search the bastard. Who knows? Maybe he still has some additional evidence on him. Or in him. Could be that he has headwear storage. We won't know until we go digging. Alright, let's get this over with. Since I figure we're kind of doctory, we can make sure that she's not just mutilating the corpse for her own satisfaction. Time passes. The job is long and unpleasant, but eventually you find something. A hidden storage compartment in one of the engineer's cyber arms. Deactivated as cyberware is, it takes some prying to open it, but Iger leans in and puts some muscle into it. With a metallic snapping sound, the compartment yawns open. Iger reaches in and pulls out a cylindrical object about the size of a beer can. She inspects it, and a smile creeps across her face. The hell is that? This, my friend, is a pulse grenade. The last I heard, the Russian military were developing them as crowd dispersal devices, but that was years ago. Looks like Yuli kept a memento of his time in the Spetsnaz. Looks like typical Russian engineering, clunky but functional. If I took this thing apart, I bet I could figure out how they made it. Alright, anything else in there? Not that I can. Without warning, the engineer's cyber arms begin to twitch. His body bucks convulsively while his dead eyes stare straight ahead. What the hell? The engineer's body surges forward, a violent convulsive motion. His eyes bulge out of his skull, and then his chest evaporates in a spray of light. As you watch, the chemical fire rages from the engineer's body. It blackens his flesh and spits sparks across the room. It's the same reaction you saw when the drone went up. A thermite reaction. His employers, Winter Night. They must have implanted that thing in him. Yeah, must have. I'm willing to bet that if we hadn't used the cyberware deactivator on him, he'd have gone up before he had the chance to spill any names. Well, if you were looking for further proof, I think that was it. Yeah, looks that way. Let's go. People need to know about this. Wow. So, we let Iger indulge in her dark side for a little while. She made quite a mess. Now, it would have been poetic justice to give him exactly what he wanted, but
Iger's mission, Iger's call, right? If she wants to slowly press down a knife into somebody's voice box while they're paralyzed and unable to move, I guess that's on her. The U-Bahn whisks you back towards the Kreutz Bazaar. Iger, standing by your side. The image of the engineer's body disintegrating in flame replays itself over and over in your mind. The bright flash, the shower of sparks, the overpowering stench of sizzling meat. A blue-green afterimage hangs suspended in the center of your field of vision, and it refuses to be blinked away. From what Iger told you, the engineer was a menace, an international criminal at the top of his game. And as you watched, he was consumed from within by a device that marked him as disposable. The rattle of your U-Bahn car coming to a halt shakes you from your reverie. You're home. We'll have a little talk with Iger, and then we'll wrap it up. Our coda to the mission, such as it is. Alright, 2 more karma gained. Not really making a whole lot of headway, but 7 karma. I think we can look at upping some of our stuff here. Last we pushed up, we got our intelligence up to 7. We got our drone control up to 7. Drone combat would be nice. So let's go with another level of drone combat. The fact that it gives them +1 AP is so good. They're already at 3 AP, now they'll have 4 AP. So I can basically take my 2 AP and turn it into 8. Worth it. Nur für Mitarbeiter. Nur für Mitarbeiter. There we go. If I don't tremble over my tongue. Iger, let's talk. Bod, what can I do for you? We should talk about what happened with the engineer. Agreed. I'm ready to go over it if you are. So the engineer was working for a secret society. I wasn't expecting that. Neither was I. A part of me is still having trouble believing it. But it's true. Yuli wasn't lying. I could see it in his eyes. So, you said that you could reverse engineer the pulse grenade. Yeah, actually, it wasn't too difficult to pull it apart and see what made it tick. Making one of my own was a different story, but I got it in the end. She reaches into her desk and grabs a cylindrical object. Gently, she lifts it up and hands it to you. Meet the newest addition to my arsenal. I call it the Voltaic Grenade. It's based on the same principles as the Russian pulse grenade, but with a few tweaks of my own. You said they were designed for crowd control. Originally, yeah. Mine has a lot more bite, though. I bumped up the amperage quite a bit. When that thing goes off, it'll shut down the nervous system and cook the organs of anyone in the blast radius. Nasty. It is. You wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of one of these. For now, I've only managed to make 1. They aren't the cheapest things in the world to manufacture, or easiest. But I should be able to scrounge up enough raw materials to put 1 new one together between each run. Okay, sounds good. Did you do any digging on Winter Night? No, there just isn't much reliable information out there. Whoever those guys are, they're very good at information control. None of my contacts could find anything but rumor and conjecture, and most of that's too crazy to even consider. How crazy? Completely insane. Stories about magical nukes and the end of the world, Fenris shamans, Ragnarok, that kind of thing. Like I said, nuts. There's a lot of crazy things going on in this world. That does not mean they're not real. Yes, there are, and no, it doesn't, but this is too far out for me to accept. It's far more likely that they've released these stories themselves to throw people off whatever they're really doing. Anyway, we stopped them cold in Schottenest. Whatever their business is, whatever they were going to do with those crates, it's not our problem anymore. The Kreutz Bazaar is safe, on that front at least. Yeah, it is. We've got you to thank for that. And you. Don't downplay what you did back there. Anyway, we shouldn't let it go to our heads. We still have a dragon to worry about. You know, when I left that room to search for clues, the engineer told you something. And it pushed you right over the edge. That son of a bitch said a lot of things. What of it? What do you think? I want to know what he told you. With all due respect, that's none of your business. Isn't it? You beat the tar out of that man because of what he told you. As your team leader, I need to know why that happened. You really want to know? Fine, I'll tell you. He told me about a bunch of Polish towns that my unit swept for syndicate activity, and he told me how the mob poured right back in as soon as we left, and what they did to the people who'd accepted our help. He told me about the beatings, the rapes, the killing rooms, the torture, and worse. He relished in describing it, the relentless, hideous barbarism of it all meant to teach some sort of lesson. I think that's the cruelest part of this entire story. Those people, they didn't need a lesson in how terrible life can be. They live with that every day. You at least seem to find all of this hilarious. Yeah, I know he was pushing my buttons on purpose, and yeah, I know that he was trying to make me lose control, but to hell with it. He deserved a good beating. The funny thing is, I know you're playing me, but you're right. My problem isn't with Yuli getting punished. It's with the fact that you let him play you. Maybe. But I can't ignore the possibility that he wasn't playing me, that these things did happen. That'd be a bitter pill to swallow, Bod. If I leave things where they stand, there'll always be some hope that he was lying. But if I dig into this, and I find that he was telling the truth, if I found out that none of what we did meant anything... Look, even if he was telling the truth, that doesn't invalidate what you did over there. Doesn't it? Our actions might have drawn attention to these people, made them targets. They were already targets. You need to quit beating yourself up over this. It's not like you. You're right. It isn't. No more moping about, I promise, and I will look into this, Bod. Wherever this trail leads me, I'll follow it, and I won't stop until I find the truth. Good to hear. For a second there, I thought you'd gone soft on me. Me go soft? Not in your life, fearless leader. After we've dealt with our current predicament, I'll dig as deep as I need to get to the bottom of this. For now, though, we should get back on task. When you're ready to start looking, you can call on me for help. No, let's say that your priorities are in the right place. I'd like to think so. Now let's change tack. Is there anything else from the run you'd like to go over? Nope, that's it. All done. So, we covered 2 missions. We did Blitz's loyalty mission, got him out of Hack, and hopefully managed to find out... We found out a little bit about Emily. That she maybe has a good reason for telling Blitz to back off, and we talked him into backing off. We probably could have talked him into continuing looking. I don't know that the game actually deals with either one, but I like to think that we helped him come to a better conclusion. And then Iger, well, we saved the Kreutz Bazaar, and she's onto something bigger. I've got a feeling that once we've taken out the dragon, she's not sticking around. Well, that's it for tonight. We will come back, we will talk to Glory and see if we can do her mission. And then we will do the Mark 6 mission, probably not tomorrow. I don't think we'll have a chance to do it, but we'll look Thursday, Friday, something like that. It depends on if the community gets up to anything else in the meantime. But for now, it's getting late. I should get to bed. Thank you all for coming out. Sealy Bob, thank you very much for the subs. Yay, gift subs. And let's take a look here. If I look at subs, Sealy Bob has bought 15 subs. What a hero, man. Throw him some soup. Sealy Bob is the man. And I know it's more than that, because I don't know that this tracks gift subs. It might, but I think that's just 15 months of him being here every month. So, we are getting closer and closer to the emoji count. Very close. Hopefully we can see that pretty soon. Just a few more. All right, guys. Have a good night.